How do I know we streaming? Oh,
What's going on?
Look,
We live. Let's go. Yeah, man. So we here.
Hey, oh shit!
Stupid. So yeah.
Oh! What's up? What's up? Ends with benefits.
We here. This is the first jump off of the Ends with Benefits podcast. We're here with Myrtle Boucher, Marshall Felder, Robert Burke.
Yeah.
So this is what we're trying to do. We're gonna go over just so y'all know what we're doing right now. Marshall and Roderick and us, we're part of the Adventures crew. We just wanted to talk about stocks and investing and what's going on in the world today. So we're gonna try to do a quick rundown, maybe 20-30 minute episodes for y'all. And this is just to give y'all a brief into what we're doing. We're gonna talk about like the topic of the week. We're gonna talk about like maybe 5 to 7 stocks here and there, stash trash or pour more cash. And we're going to talk about the hidden gem stock of the week and wrap it up. And yeah, we're going to try to keep it sweet and concise and consistent and give y'all just something else to think about. So y'all want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, Rod, you can go first. With class and beauty first. Go ahead, Marshall.
My name is Marshall. I've been investing, I don't know, like 8 years now, and we basically got this going on because we want to show people how to invest and like what our journey like. And then me and Rod, we disagree a lot, so we're gonna trade ideas and kind of go at it and see what happens.
Okay, disagreeing and shit. All right. Well, I am Roderick Burke, Sir Berkey, or Short Strokes, however you might know me or women might know me. But long story short, we are here to give you guys investment advice, just advice about what we do in life and tips and tricks that people won't show you because they're either insecure in showing you or think you're going to make the same money or think you're going to mess up their hustles. We're here to give you all the knowledge that we've learned over the years, unindoctrinated. I said that wrong, but just not give you bullshit. Just filter out all that bullshit that people give you and give you the straight facts about how to make this money, where to go, what to invest in, things to do, and the mindset to have when you're going to get it. All right. So let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
So for the topic of this week, we want to talk to people on like what and how to invest. What are y'all strategies and like techniques in the game? So who wants to kick it off? Marshall, you want to jump into that?
Let me start this off real quick and just let you guys know our mind frames of why. Wait, is this Marshall's way? Oh, this is Marshall's way. Yeah. Why Marshall? So Marshall is more analytical with things. I'll say it like that. Like we're all three of us are pretty smart guys, but Marshall is it's way more analytical with the way that he invests and the way that he sees the NASDAQ and stock market. And me and Berto down here, let me go like this. It's a damn mirror. Anyway, but how me and Berto think is more of, I'm going to go with the mind flow of how the people think more than I'm going to go over market cap and share volume and stuff like that. So we'll kick it off with the actual intelligent version of it, the Warren Buffett side coming from Marshall. And then I'm going to kick it off with hype, the media hype, and what really gets people pumped up to go throw their money into a company. So let's get it. Let's go, Marshall.
Yeah. So I'm what they consider a value investor. So I don't put my money in anything that I feel like I wouldn't want to be a part of as a business. So I treat all my investments like it's a business. And the way I look at it, if I put like $100 into something, I'm expecting like $10 that week. You know what I mean? I mean, not that week, but that year. Something like that. Like I'm expecting a certain return. A lot of people like Rod they just put their money into whatever, and they may not even know too much about it. And then they just kind of hope that everything goes well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of wild to me. But sometimes it works. Like I see it as kind of like gambling, but you know, sometimes when you gambling, you gonna hit that 10 bagger and you're gonna make like $1,000 off of like $10 or $100. But you know, the way I invest, it don't work out like that. It's like one of them slow and easy wins the race, and you know, they like it slow.
Okay. Okay. See, this is where me and Marshall differ a little bit. Because how I see it, how I view the NASDAQ, how I view the stock market, it's almost like we're investing in dreams. We're investing in the hopes and the actual future of the company, not necessarily where I see a company's where their cap is, how much money they're actually making or the market that they're in. So I'm basically looking at, okay, I have Tesla right here, right? So I know that in 10 years, Tesla's probably going to own the market of all of electrical vehicles. So you're talking about $500 billion, $1 trillion company off rip. So I'm thinking how I go into investing, I see the hype. So I'm looking right now, like we're in COVID right now. So the most populous thing right now is all cloud-based companies. So I'm looking at, oh, well, everybody's going to be on GoMeeting, everybody's going to be on Zoom. And then I see a couple articles like, oh shit, CNN just ran something on Zoom. Oh, I just saw the Washington Post just ran something on Fastly. And then I see like, okay, so I saw 3 million people looked at this same article I looked at, right? So I'm gonna think, so yeah, they're definitely gonna end up investing in it because they saw the same thing I did. So I go ahead and throw my money in it. And I already know, like talking to Marshall's gonna be like, man, they don't even make any money. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, people believing in the company is what moves that share. Like if everybody buys, it doesn't matter if it makes $1, if they're making negative dollars. If everybody buys, we're all making money. So the catch is catching that human emotion. To me, is what makes money. So
let me know how much money did you make on Zoom? Because I know some of these you've made some good money on, right?
So let's go into what I make the most money on.
Let's see some receipts, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not completely ass-hard, so I do have a bunch of shares of Oxy because I know in the long run, Oxy is still going to go back to where it used to be, like I think around $50 or wherever it used to be. And Fang is definitely going to go back to its $111 eventually once oil bounces back. But I have made the most money off of Nikola, which is an actual sub company that makes electric semis and hydrogen power semis. And what made me
that Nikola?
Nikola
and the Tesla.
So basically, what I was looking at when I invested in that at the beginning, before they merged companies, I was basically looking at like there's nobody else competing with Tesla. So I was like, well, if I think this is $1 trillion business industry, then definitely another company making semi trucks can get in there and make, a quarter of that or 1/3 of that or a 23rd of that, which still makes them a multi-billion-dollar company. So I'm like, I throw in and get a couple hundred shares. Like I think I got 100 shares of before. What was it before?
It's like $9, right?
Huh?
The IPO. It started off
before the IPO. I forgot what they were before. What was it before then?
I think it started off at 9, and I remember. I think you got out at like 99.
Yeah, it started at $9. I bought 100 shares at 99, at $9.10 or $10, whatever it was. Yeah. And then about 2 weeks ago, it got all the way. Once they merged, it got all the way up to $93. So, like you said, I made $9,300 off of that. So
I like playing double dutch out there, boy. He be trying to jump in between.
But the catch is though, I actually set an actual number. Like a lot of people don't set a number. A lot of people will sit there and get greedy and have that human nature come in. Like, well, I'm just gonna ride this shit out. But I actually listened to Marshall because Marshall was like, man, well, it doesn't make any sense. They have all these pre-orders, but they haven't made any money. So I was like, you know what? I made all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go ahead and jump out, man. So I jumped out at the right time, like the right exact. I know
you like right.
Wait. Yeah. I put the orders in like the night before. I was like, you know what? Let me put this order in at Robinhood, and I swiped that bitch up, and I was like. Right when it opened up, the market opened up at 93, and then that day it like plummeted all the way down to like $60, bro. And I was like,
I think it's like 66 right now.
Yeah, you said you made some on that just at the studio.
Yeah,
63 right now. So
Yeah, I also made really good off of Fastly, which is still making a lot of money, and I was still.
Hey, we're gonna jump into that.
Okay, my bad.
No, that's the same. But yeah, this is what this whole podcast is about. You know, like friends with benefits, we got ends, making ends, spending ends, doing it with your friends, and that's what this is about. If you got some extra ends that you're trying to invest in or figure out where you want to put, we're here to do that or help you get a line of sight for that. So just tools or techniques that y'all like, maybe stuff that people should be looking into, articles where y'all are getting educated at. What apps or tools are y'all using to start y'all path and get on those pathways?
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah,
you know what you do.
I used to do all my brokerage trading through my bank USAA, but then I heard about Robinhood was free because when you buying and selling stocks, it used to cost money, but now Robinhood does it free, and I was like, well, shoot, I'd rather do it free than pay like $8 or something to trade. And I've been dealing with Robinhood ever since. You know what I mean? Yeah. What about you, Rod? I don't know. Are you using Robinhood or what do you use?
I use Robinhood and I use Coinbase too because I'm really into cryptocurrency too. So I use Coinbase for like XRP stuff and Bitcoin stuff, man. But it also helps me. Robinhood is good when it comes to actual shares and stocks. They give you all the stats and stuff like that. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, they're not, your stats for it aren't really that great unless you actually like go across the chart and actually keep up with your own numbers, man. But it's so volatile. Like Coinbase has a little bit more stat wise. Robinhood's not really messing with the cryptocurrencies too much.
But you could buy and sell crypto on Robinhood though, right?
Yeah, you definitely can. But Coinbase is more specific for that, I guess we'll say, because there's only I think 8 cryptos that are traded on the NASDAQ. I think there's only 8 or 6.
Uh-huh.
So you have to really go on Coinbase to get to the XRPs and Doge coins and all that other good stuff, man. So yeah.
Make sure if y'all on Robinhood, apply to get your fractional shares so you can buy fractions of or any stock.
Yeah. So with the fractional shares, that's basically like, let's say you're looking at Amazon and they sell for like $2,000 a share. If you ain't got $2,000 on you, but you still want to own some of the Amazon business, you could be like, well, I got $20. How about you give me like 1/100th of a share? And so you could build up a position that way and have access to some of that wealth. So I really like the fractional shares, and I'll probably, when the price do come down, I'll probably buy some Amazon.
Expand on what is the position. So people that's out there that's either trying to learn some of the lingo, because when we get in depth in this, people are going to start wanting to learn. And then later on, we kind of, if you're part of the, you'll understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you buy a stock on the stock market, you're buying a share, and a share implies that you're buying a share in the business. You know what I mean? So if you buy, let's say the business has 100 shares total, and you buy 5 shares, well, you own 20th, 5% of the business or something like that, right? We ain't got to do the math and get all funky with it. And so that's why I look at it as I own part of this business. And if the business makes like $1,000, then I'm entitled to that percentage of the earnings of the business. So, yeah.
Okay. So now I want to discuss, go through the mindset that you have to have when you're investing, or especially when you play the stock market. So
I think that's need to know the risk.
So
things of that nature.
So you guys, how can I say it? The stock market is not necessarily like a casino. It's not. There's some things you could definitely invest in that are more long-term and more stable, but then those will be more of like a NASDAQ index or some other things. But if you're actually playing shares, stocks, and real investments and stuff like that, there's very few. It's only 3,500 companies on the actual NASDAQ index. So there's very few companies that are actually stable. If you want stable, if you want dividends and stuff like that, like how Marshall does, you're definitely gonna have to look into Disney's, probably like Amazon type deals. Like people are Apples, they're actually consistent companies. They pretty much, their shares, their stocks pretty much stay at the same rate. So you're putting your money in there and can leave your money alone. Like you're pretty much safe where you don't have to go check it every hour like my black ass does. I got to go there like every hour and be like, oh shit, I lost. Oh shit, okay, I made $3,000 back. Okay, so that's pretty much heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? But I have, you know what I'm saying? I have the money that I can lose and do at the same time. It's not a bragging thing. I just don't have a family. I don't have kids. So, you know what I'm saying? I can just throw money into shit and like, if I lose it, oh, well, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you have money sitting in a savings account, what are you making? Like you're making like 1% or whatever you're doing, like that money's not working for you. So at the end of the day, what you want is the money that you're saving to work for you, because you can definitely have a nest egg. So my nest egg is I never let my bank account get under $20,000. Like that is my bug out money. Like anything over $20,000, why is it there? Like why am I holding on to it? Like make that money work for you. Either if you're not throwing it in the stock market, if you're not throwing it into some type of real estate, like land, air, water, like you know what I'm saying, or gold. Like if it's not in those four things or anything like that, man, what are you doing? So you basically have money sitting there rotting and doing nothing. So that's more my financial logic when it comes into things. So Marshall, you want to?
So I call it like a safety net. Like I always have a buffer of money in my account. You know, it'd be like whether it be 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever your situation, and then the rest of it I'm dumping in the stocks. And I think I don't target dividend stocks anymore. I used to, but I know every year I'm getting about $5K in dividends alone, and that just builds up year over year because most companies, they increase their dividends every year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if I was getting $5K in dividends this year, I would expect to be getting maybe like $5,500 in dividends the next year, and then $6,000 the following year, and so on and so forth, until you get to the point where I'm like, well, shit, I'm a single dude. I ain't really got no liabilities. If it costs me, $12K for rent, and and my dividends is paying $12K, then I'm living rent free technically, right? Like my dividends is covering my cost of living. So that's one approach you could go about it, and that's what I'm shooting for. I want my dividends to cover my cost of expenses. That way, my regular money from my primary occupation could take care of like travel and tricking off whatever I feel like doing.
Because y'all both like tricking off, so.
That's Marshall, bro.
Yeah. I slowed down.
Gotta have them. Gotta spend to get them in. So, yeah, man. So I think people grasp it. They're gonna understand exactly what we're trying to do here with Ends with Benefits. It's just we're trying to show you different routes and different options instead of. I mean, right now nobody's buying things. I mean, Nike dropped a lot because people ain't buying no more clothes to go out like that. Like, where are you gonna go? So it's like use that money that you would have spent on a pair of shoes to buy some stocks or invest in a property or allocate that to some other things.
See, I think now what we're coming into is the age of, how we're millennials and stuff like that, and the what is that, Generation Z or X, where's behind us? Like we're all coming into knowing that our generation is not going to be able to retire. So let's just say, if you don't have a government job, if you're not really into the sector where you can at least save $1 million before you get up out of this thing, like no one let's throw out a number. 85% of millennials are not going to be retiring. Let's just be straight up with you.
Right.
So this is the time that people, like when you're going on to like these MSNBC, when you see these stock shows, like people are confused about the stock market because now you have, which used to take you, I think back in the day, you used to have only a minimum investment of like $30,000 or $25,000 to get a broker to even play in the game. Like now you have millions of people that can just jump on and swipe their phone and be like, oh, well, I got 5 shares of Google. I got 5 shares of Tesla. And that's what that's doing right now. It's fucking up those senior investors like your Warren Buffetts and stuff like that. Because like even my logic is I'm like, God damn it, I want these oil companies to go completely down and Boeing to go completely down, but motherfuckers keep buying the damn shares. I'm like, please let it go down below 100 so we can all get rich. But you know, people are seeing how low the stocks are, so they're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it right now and just ride it out." But like how me and Marshall are thinking, it's like, let this shit die, let it bleed out, go all the way down to red, so we can
that's
our money. See, that's the catch. Yeah,
like when you're in the garden, you prune the garden. Like when you see these fucking the weeds falling off or like some of your plant dying, you prune that shit so new shit could come through.
Yeah,
that's what's really happening. We're pruning all the old ecosystem, the economics, and like, oh, this whole new economy is about to come, a whole new way of life.
And that's the devastating shit right there, bro. It's like it's going to be almost an economic reset. See, that's why you keep on hearing all this like fear mongering and COVID shit, and why people are like saving their cash. Like you'll see the billionaires, all those millionaires, like they're just saving their cash, just like this. Like, oh yeah, it's about to be an economic reset, bro. So definitely, almost how it was. It was at 2009, 2008 when the credit bubble crashed. Like, just wait on it. Just wait on it. Like how these shares were. If you would have caught the stock market 52 weeks ago when everything bombed the first time they talked about COVID or whatever like that, it's a bubble out there. And then like if y'all just be patient, save your money, that it's going to fall out. Because right now what you're seeing, why all these fluctuations are happening, the Fed is propping it up. Like the Fed is giving money to these companies, propping up them, like buying junk bonds from all this other bullshit they're doing just to keep you interested. But trust me, guys, that shit's going to bottom out, and it's going to bottom out hard as fuck. And the person with cash is going to be king. Trust me. You're going to get rich. You're going to get rich fast. So yeah, save your money and just sit back and just.
I know y'all both had like interesting perspectives on the bubble, the whole .com bust or the app bust or
I don't know what to call it, because I mean you look at when was the .com bubble? That was like year 2000,
early 2000s.
Yeah. So you had all these companies like pet.com and toys.com or whatever, and they had like these $1 billion valuations, and it was like, yo, you don't make any money, right? So when the earnings period came around and they was like, oh yeah, we didn't make any money, everybody like just dipped, and then the price tanked, and then the people that was still holding the stock, they was like, oh shit, and their whole investment was gone. So I think that's what's gonna happen, with all these like new investors who've been using Robinhood. So that's why I'm like, me personally, I'm sitting here waiting. I got a good amount of cash, and I'm just waiting for all these stocks to bottom out, because when the whole market comes down, it's gonna take everything with it. So even the stocks that are good and solid, they're gonna come down as well, even though they don't deserve it. They're gonna get lumped in with everybody else, and that's when you go, oh shit, I'm gonna buy low and sell high. So let me get in on that while it's cheap on the ground floor.
Yeah. See how me and Marshall are different with this .com bubble. I don't particularly think it's a .com bubble. I like because how these cloud-based companies, these apps, all these other conglomerates are working now. They're mainly multi-faceted companies now. Like back in the .com boom, like, oh, this one company does this one thing, this company does this one thing, blah, blah, blah. Now we have Apple does all this shit. Tencent does fucking video games, WeChat. It does so many different, like all these companies do so many different things. So I don't think that's necessarily a bubble. I think there's a thing nowadays, which is my logic. No one makes money for real. No one makes money. So I'm more of the thing, like your safest bets of making money and keeping money will be more your manufacturing companies or a company that's actually making something tangible. But those cloud-based companies, you're gonna have to invest in something that they're a cloud-based company, which I mean like they're functional. So you have one company that does maybe almost like a Go meeting type deal, and they have something where they do a cloud-based security deal. Like this is all, and then the company is probably into some type of mobile data type deal, but they're faceted in 3 different, a whole bunch of different things. That would make some more, to me, it makes it more of a investable thing for me. So that's why I'm more into like a Zoom or a Fastly or something like that, because you can actually see they're into multifaceted things. But I would definitely tell people, if you want long-term, if you want like $1 trillion company, like you're looking at Apples, you're looking at Teslas and stuff like that, because our Amazons, because they actually are in a niche and then reinvesting into their company. So that's why you will see it's tricky, because it will show that they're not making any money, right? And you will see on the quarterly say like, damn, they're not making any money. How the fuck are they here? No, they're reinvesting into their own company. They're reinvesting into their own infrastructure. Yeah. So when you actually read and you actually see what they're doing, then that's when you should be like, oh shit, well, Amazon hasn't really made any money and Uber hasn't made any money, but they're investing in their infrastructure. So trust me, 10 years from now, they're gonna pretty much run the world. Like trust me, 10 years from now, no one's going to the grocery stores anymore, bro. Like, like no one's gonna be like we're gonna be right here swiping up on the phone, bro. Yeah. Like no one's gonna do that anymore. And everybody,
just like I talked about before, like the habits of individuals. Yeah. So yeah, if there's habits that are gonna be created, like right now, people are not going to the movies. So this has been 3 months. So now another 6 months are extended to the end of the year. Like they're gonna be like, oh, I haven't been to the movies all year. I'm kind of used to not going. I'm not used to shopping in the stores. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to still do my thing and just still keep this same way of living through the house.
So this is what I think is gonna happen. I think you got and put in like a link or whatever so people can call in with questions or whatever so we can get it interactive.
Got it.
Okay, take for instance like AMC, right? The AMC is right across the street from me, and they've been closed for like 3 months or something. And the only movie theater open right now is Santikos, and at least in San Antonio. And I went there, and they had to have like 300, 400 seats, and there was only like 5 people in the theater. So ain't nobody going to the movies, right? But people still watching movies at home. And what are they watching? They're watching Netflix, right? And where else are they watching? Maybe on like Apple TV. So you've got these, you've got a few amount of suppliers of the movies, right? So it's going to be like a monopoly or a duopoly or something. And then everybody else, they're fucked. They're gonna go bankrupt. AMC's already declared bankruptcy. I'm sure, unfortunately, Alamo Drafthouse and Santikos, they might be next. You know what I mean? So. Yep. That's where I'm saying it's a bubble, because you have all these companies that aren't actually making money, and when the smoke clears, it's going to be like, oh shit, they're going to go bankrupt. You're going to lose all your money in the investment, and then the people that are actually going to make the money is going to be your face, not your face. Well, maybe Facebook, right? If they show movies through the Oculus or something, but it's going to be your Netflix and your Amazons who got Amazon Prime. It'll be like Time Warner who got they own HBO. Or does AT&T own HBO now? I don't know. Whatever the case, it's only going to be a few companies, and that's the scary part. Like these smaller businesses and these businesses that were not reinvesting in the business with the technology, taking the time to adapt with the times. They're dinosaurs, and they're going to be done for. So
how I feel about that, like how you went into it. I don't necessarily, these companies that you just explained or just went over have been struggling since before COVID. So how I view these companies as the perfect thing happened for a struggling company right now. It's like, I can't get rid of all these employees because I'm gonna be paying out all type of money, laying off people. I have COVID now. I have COVID. So this is the perfect time for me to trim the fat of my company. It's like, oh, well, I had 2,000 people that aren't really doing shit where I could actually have some type of cloud-based service to do the things that they were doing. So, stupid COVID. So I had to get rid of 2,000 of you guys. Well, it's mandated. I can do it. And then I'm getting paid to get rid of you guys. So, I mean, why not do it? So I think it's more of a trimming the fat type of thing more than it is like, I'm really hurting. I was already hurting before this. So but why not? So that's how I view it, man. It's actually beneficial for them. So
I think like everything's going to contactless, and I don't think a lot of companies are going to bounce back. I don't think they're going to adapt. I I think they just gonna get left in the wind or something. It's kind of like them. You ever see them movies where you got like a town, like it used to be like an oil town, or they used to be a car manufacturing town, and now it's like a desert, right? And it's like damn, like what? Like this how I feel, right? Huh?
That's how I feel with like infrastructure, like malls. Like we just be like walking by. I'm like, dang, remember when we used to walking that bitch? Like over here.
I mean, shit, man. It's gonna be like, what's the point of cleaning it? Yeah, it's gonna be a wasteland. Like, yeah.
You know, we're in the automated age now, man. People are talking about like maybe 20 years from now or 20 or 30 years from now, like we'll never, you know what I'm saying? They'll have to give us universal money pretty much because I mean, think about it right now, bro. When did you ever think in your life that people would have $100,000 job of just making content? Like, bro, that should blow everybody's mind right now. Like, I'm a content creator, bro. Like, all I do is make dope shit for you guys to put on your page or give you shit. And this is like a $40,000 to $100,000 job. That should let you know about where things are going. Like, no longer like how our grandparents were doing, where they worked at a Ford company or worked at a company for 20 years. There's no such thing as that for us. Like, we got to bounce around to different jobs. We got to learn different industries. You got to learn how to code. You got to learn how to get on the internet and do these things because long story short, there's going to be very few things for people to get into like even 10 years from now, bro, like real tangible shit outside, like you're not going to be doing unless, like I said, like you're a real estate investor or you own a manufacturing company or some shit. Like there's nothing else for you out here except for what we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you're cutting chickens and shit or like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's really nothing out there that's going to make you money anymore unless it's like internet based or, you know what I'm saying? Or you're actually doing your own company thing. But like I said, like, it's just, we're going to have to change our mindsets up for a lot of things, man. Like it's, our generation has been fucked since birth. So, I mean, like we're going through every single thing that our grandparents, great grandparents went through and our mom and dads went through, but we've went through it 4 times already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, we've been through it 4 times already. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're resilient. But then we have to like how your parents are like, oh my God, I don't get this generation. You got to tell your parents and your grandparents, well, you fucked us. So, I mean, there's nothing for you to really get because we're going to be taking care of your asses in like 20 years because none of y'all saved your money's up. I mean, I just looked at an article the other day with the baby boomers. Like they have no money saved up for retirement. So you're thinking about 10 million people, like damn near 20 million people subsisting on the government, subsisting on Social Security, and that's on us, bro. Like that ain't coming from our parents. That's coming from millennials and my homeboys after us, the weird generation. What's the weird generation behind us? The weird boys. Like you guys are gonna be paying for all this. The weird ones, bro. But the social
ones, another problem is like, how do I say it? Like the skill sets needed for today's age or, you know, the next age coming is more technical and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I mean, look at huh?
I said Trump just dropped that thing today. Like people have to have like college degree for jobs type shit. Like for
I thought he was saying you don't need a college degree.
No, he's saying you don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wants people to have actual skill, or you just need to have
skills. You need the skills to get to the position. Okay. That's what he meant by that. That's what it is.
But the problem is the skills they're looking for. Like let's say they're looking for like I was just talking, you know, to your homie yesterday. You know, he wants to get into marketing, right? But but everything with marketing nowadays, it ain't like Don Draper from Mad Men, right? Where you just like you got a mouthpiece or something, or you got a creative eye. Now they want people to be like digital marketers, where like you know how to do some kind of analytics to see who's hitting your page and how long they're staying on the page and stuff like that. And you know, a lot of people, you know, maybe they're not, you know, they don't feel like learning, or they don't have like the talent to learn like technical aspects of things, or they don't want to become like all into the data and stuff like that. So like it's hard, man. Like people that have like I don't know what to call it. Like kind of like the people skills, you know what I'm saying? Like
that kind of goes out the window a little bit.
As stuff gets more automated and stuff, it's going to be harder for people that don't have like that technical background or aren't even interested in technical work. You know what I mean?
So now that we touched on these subjects, y'all want to jump into stash, trash, pour more cash?
Yeah.
Well, let me piggyback off one more thing about pretty much being more skilled when it comes to your profession, man. Like, I'm just going to tell everybody that's on here that's younger or coming to the game or older, whatever like that, you got to start picking industries that can never be destroyed or never be affected by nature or whatever's going on in the world. So like I said, like a lot of people are going to be like, government jobs, they do suck ass and they might not pay you as much. So this is the catch. You always have to have consistent something coming in. And I think a lot of people right now, because you know what I'm saying, what I do for my job, I do hiring for government positions. So we're going to see an uptake in that shit now because people are actually going to see like, well, damn, people are still getting paid in government jobs where I'm unemployed, where we basically have 40 million people unemployed. So you got to start thinking in the wind of I have safe money and then I have something on the side, or you have to have something that augments what you're doing. Like I augment my stuff with real estate, stocks and stuff like that. Like you have to, millennials and below, we have to be the jack of all trades because basically what our parents were doing, they went in there with entitlement. Well, I have my degree from Harvard or Stanford, which doesn't mean shit, but I should be good for the position, even though I don't know shit that goes on in the position, but I have a degree from Stanford. See, we're millennials these days. Like, we don't give a fuck about you unless you can actually do the job. See, that's what a lot of people think is disrespectful when they come into stuff, because when I tell them it sounds like it's disrespectful because people come in or like, well, I've been doing this for this many years and I feel like I was like, so show me what you can do. And then people will like, I should be good at this. Nah.
That's that Monique
about you if you can do the job. That's the catch. That's what
I need $20 million for a Netflix special. What was the last time?
Yeah.
Nah, you got to show them.
No, you ain't shit to us unless you actually bringing something into the group. Right now. And that could be at one time, like, okay, we have a project, right? Well, I'm really good with people skills and interviewing and background. Bert's really good at quality control. Marshall's really good with analytics and stuff like that. Well, if it's not my turn to talk, then I shut the fuck up. So it's like, well, this is not my forte. So I'm not the leader in this. I'm not the alpha. So you go to your different groups. But people don't understand that from this other generation, from these older folks' generations. They think this because they've been to something for 20 years or 15 years. They think you got to shut the fuck up and listen to them. Well, at the end of the day, this high school kid is better at the skill that we're trying to entrust you into. So that's when the generation, especially when I see at work, that's when the generation gap comes in beforehand. I'm like, so why are you guys still doing paper? What are you doing with paper? Like when I see someone writing something with paper, I automatically think you're a dumbass. I'm sorry, that looks like me personally. I'm like, what the fuck are we using paper for still? Like, we're using like if you're not using the tools that are out there for you, I automatically think you're a fossil when it comes to certain things. So you gotta keep making your skills go up and up and up and not get stuck into your old ways of thinking. Like that is the new way of thinking. So
I want to circle back on something you said. You said like you do a little bit of real estate, you do a little bit of this and that. Can you like tell us like your journey? Because I don't know anything about real estate like whatsoever. But I think you got some properties.
Yeah. Rod got the properties, which you do the Turo too, right? You do the cars and rent out.
Yeah. So we got assets without always bringing in your money that fuels your ability to buy stocks. Because the people that are watching right now, they probably like, well, yeah, I would like to invest. But I don't have any cash to invest with. So how do I get cash? How about you help me with that problem? You know what I mean?
So long story short, man. So my dad pretty much got me into the real estate game. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like my dad used to buy houses. Like he's a military cat, man, retired colonel, man. So basically he would go every single place he'll get moved to and buy a house. So basically my dad has, I think, like 10 houses or something like that, or 12, whatever my dad has now, man. So he would just rent them out or get a real estate agent to manage the properties. So he basically got me into that, man. So he had a house out here in Alabama, man. He was like, hey, here you go. You manage to do what you got to do. And that made me basically jump and start doing my own thing, man. So basically we're doing properties. Now we're doing with tax lien. So me and my boy Westbrook are getting together. We basically went to the revenue office. So they have something called a tax lien, which I don't know if you guys, everybody on might not know about. So basically they have liens. Okay. So let's just say, let's just break it down like a car. So basically, let's say you went to an AutoZone and they worked on your car and you didn't have the money to pay off that service that they provided. So what they can do, or they can put a lien on your car. So basically, if you don't pay this money in a certain amount of time or a certain amount, you can actually get your title taken. So same thing with the actual house. So you have a house, if you didn't pay your state taxes, you basically, a lien will be put on your house. So 3 years, you have 3 years. So there's an actual whole list of properties at the state revenue office that you can go through, and it's like,
and is that the same for every state and country? I mean, every city.
Every city, you can go to the revenue office and see all of the people that owe taxes on land, property, stuff like that. So you go through it, and basically, you can bid on a property. So you'll go to you'll put an application in like, oh, I want this property, right? So every Tuesday here of every month, they actually have an auction. So you go down to the state revenue office and they auction off that property. So you buy, what you do, you pay off the state taxes on that property, right?
Okay, well, wait, hold on, because you're going fast. We got
my bad.
I mean, there's people watching. They probably want to absorb all this. So you're going into the state office. It only happens monthly, right? And it's on a Tuesday.
Yep.
And then they're selling properties where the people didn't pay their bills or something.
Yeah. So basically, they have a list. You can go before Tuesday. Like you can actually go on the list on the website. Every state department has.
Do you got to pay to view that list?
Huh?
Do you have to pay something to look at that list, or is
no? Bro, this is all public information, y'all. This is nothing I'm telling you. Nothing you guys can't do. So it's all public information. The list will actually show you how much tax is owed on that property. And so basically, you go to the auction, right? And they actually have a list of the properties that they're doing right then. So you have to at least have $5,000. Show them that you have $5,000 to actually be there in the midst of it. Huh?
You got to show cash, like I got a briefcase.
In a business account, a bank account, whatever. Just show them that you have $5,000. That's it.
Yeah. So that's it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And so you basically, but the catch is, you got to do your due diligence, educate yourself about property, land, basically, bro, codes and stuff like that, because some of the property that you look at, there could be a code problem, there could be a flooding problem or something like that, but they're usually so cheap. So you're thinking about the assessed value. So right now, we just bought a property. Well, I just bought a property this past week. So for $3,000, this is what I'll tell you guys. I spent $3,800 for this property, right?
Yeah.
That's how much they owe for the taxes. So I paid $3,800. The assessed value for this property is $27,000 to $37,000. So that's just assessed value. But this property is over 3 years old, so it hasn't been assessed in over, I think, like it's over 3 years. So it hasn't been assessed in 3 years. That property is probably more worth $45,000 to $50,000 when I get it reevaluated again. So that is it. So basically, you bought a property for $3,000. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna fix up the house, rent the house out, probably Section 8 the house out. Me and my boy are gonna do that real quick. But then what you can do, which is a hustle in itself, you can get equity off of the property. So I have $40,000 of equity that I can go to the bank and show them like, hey, this property is worth this much. You guys give me a line of credit. So they'll give me a line of credit for like $30,000, which that will give me a few more properties to get into, or if I want to throw that money into some shares or do something else with it, because at the end of the day, the logic is I might technically be completely broke. Like right now, I'm completely broke. I'm in the negative if you really think about it. I have but every single thing I have is considered an asset. It's considered real equity. Right. Like properties is considered real equity. So it doesn't matter if I'm in debt or not. It's not showing up on my credit. I still got like a 730 credit score. It doesn't really matter because it's considered an asset. Like, so basically, yeah, you're just basically just, the ball's just rolling. The ball's just rolling. There's nothing you're going to get rich off. Like, you're not going to be a millionaire off of it. But if you guys want an extra $2,000 to $5,000 coming in every single month, and you don't really got to be like, oh my God, I hate this dead end fucking job, then that's definitely what you should be doing. It's a little bit of work for a lot of reward.
Okay, let me circle back, because I think a problem that happens, with people trying to, like, this type of information ain't really out there. So you go into the tax office, right? You show them you got $5,000 or whatever. There's a property that you already did some research on because you looked at the list, right? And the property was only $3,800, right? And so you said that you and your boy are gonna fix the property up, right? How much does that cost, and where does that money come from? Is
right now? It just depends. It just depends on the property. So basically, what we do, we like to Section 8. So Section 8 is, it's a government entity. So basically, you pay every single month, and it's consistent, and you don't have to worry about renters and stuff like that. Like renters, like basically, if you want to evict an actual real rental agreement, like someone can stay into your rental property before you get them out there for like freaking 3 months, and they don't have to pay you nothing. Section 8 is less, like definitely they do their own voucher. So they basically do their vouchers. So basically, you have a lady will come there, make sure your house is up to code, and then if you have a 3-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, like the voucher will go from there. The price of the actual property will go from there. So you're looking at a 3-bedroom, you're probably looking at almost close to $1,000. You're looking at 2-bedroom, more like $500, $600 voucher. But you don't want like
what's the voucher? Like,
Oh yeah,
because you got to assume people
can pay on the house. So basically, they'll give people a voucher, the family a voucher for like $500, $600, and that goes towards the rent and stuff like that, which Section 8. Okay. So you can actually have a property like, well, hey, this property is $1,000, and they have a $900 voucher or whatever like that. So they only pay like $100 for everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it's kind of like what welfare was back in the day. I don't even know if because they changed the name of stuff, right? Like food stamps is now called temporary assistance of something like that. Okay. Yeah.
So that's my $900. So I get that $900 every single month, or they can pay me in cash for the $100 or something. So it's
it's like getting government guaranteed money, basically.
Yeah, on the 5th of the month, every single month. Like I said, it's nothing that's going to make you rich. But then you got to think about, I spent $3,800 so far. It's probably going to take me maybe another $10,000 to get this thing completely going. So I got $13,000 in all in a whole property. And then someone's going to end up paying me probably $900 to $1,000 a month. So basically going to make that into a cash house in 4 years time. So I mean,
so that's important for people to learn, right? Like they need to know when are they going to break even on an investment. So let's do the math. I'm a very Blues Clues type of dude. You put in $3,800 and then you fixed it up for maybe like $10,000. It sounds about something like that. So you in total, you put in $13,000. Everybody got $13,000 a month. You and your family members, your peoples, or whatever, right? So y'all pull together $13,000, and then you get it licensed by Section 8 or whatever that bureaucratic process is. It's just you showing up in the office or whatever and giving somebody a tour of the place. Then they put somebody in the home, right? And that's a guarantee of $1,000 a month. That's right. So your break-even point is going to probably be after about 13 or 14 months. Which, I mean, I don't know a lot of investments where you receive your total principal, the amount of money that you put in originally after a year, not even like stocks. So,
and then it's less risky too. Like I even talked about the equity of it. So like I said, like that $5,000 property is worth more like $45,000, bro. So honestly, I could either just sell it, flip it again, or whatever like that, or just go get an equity, a credit on the actual house. Like $30,000, bro. I can probably buy 3 or 4 more bullshit little places that I can just fix up. And I mean, we make them look incredibly beautiful, man. Like just pristine. Like,
so do you have a guy, or do y'all do the work yourselves? Because I know that's an important step that people need to know how to do, right? Like, are you going in there with a hammer and nails because this is something that you grew up doing, or do you have a guy and he goes in and does it for you, and then you cut him a check? How does that work?
So long story short, like we have a network of actual contractors too. So like just people around that know how to do a jack of all trades. Like we have electrical guy on hold, we got a plumbing guy we needed, but we basically go in there. What we can do is basically we'll go in there, probably pressure wash ourselves, maybe do a little painting ourselves, definitely take off molding and stuff like that. Basically get out and do the things that we can do, clean up the landscape, stuff like that, and then have the people that's more labor intensive come in. Like you got to paint the whole house. Like go ahead and pay that guy those $200, $300 that he wants to paint the entire house while I'm sitting here still working and still doing the other things I need to do to make it happen. But like after that, bro, you'll be amazed at what landscaping and paint will do to a property, bro.
Yeah,
and
it's like getting your car washed, right? Like my car, I got a Camry, but when I put it through the car wash, it looked pretty fly, right? Like
bro, like a lot of stuff is just like painting and making sure you have the right just the right look of just opulence. It really doesn't. You're not even. How can I say it? Like it's Section 8, bro. Like people want something like not really. People be looking at Section 8 like it might not be that nice, but then you come to one of the properties and you're like, oh shit, like I wasn't on Section 8, like I will love this motherfucker, and it don't cost you anything to do, bro. Like it really doesn't cost you that much to do it. Like $10,000 might sound like a lot, but it's really drops in a bucket, to be honest with you, bro. Like everybody
doing, and then with what you're doing, like your network you're building with like these contractors, like if you're consistent with it, like you're getting maybe benefits on cuts or deals, like hey, we bought 2 more properties. What can you? That's what some people like stress out. They're like, oh, what if I find? I mean, it's all trial and error. You have to build that relationship and network.
Bro, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, that's when it comes to the human mindset. Like at the end of the day, we have this, what you'll see, like all successful people have. It's like it's not a I don't give a fuck attitude. It's like I'm willing to put myself in the position of not being comfortable. Like you cannot be comfortable. The second you get comfortable in life and you're like twirling your thumbs, like you're too. And it's not even something you can learn, because a lot of people are like, oh man, I can do that. It's not. It's something that you develop. Like it's almost like you're never satisfied thing, and it's not a healthy train of thought. So let me go ahead and put it out like that. My train of thought is that I'm never happy with shit. Like that's just me. Like even relationships. From everything, like I'm never satisfied with anything, and it makes me like the second I make $40,000, bro, is the second I put it into something else. Like trust me, bro. Someone would have been so happy making $100,000, or like how we just spent $30,000 on an app or doing some stupid shit like that. People would be like, oh man, I'm happy with 30 bands or 40. Like, but it doesn't satisfy you, bro. Like it's stoicism. Like I'm never there for the money, and I'm never there for the clout or making people care about what I'm doing. I'm only there for the experience. Like, and once you get that in your mind, that I'm only there for the fucking experience, and I learned this shit, bro, like everything is fucking easy. Like I got bored, bro, and learned how to fly a fucking plane. Like I was bored as fuck sitting in the house, and I'm like, damn, I need some shit to do. So I just fucking let me learn how to fly a fucking plane. Like, they're lucky I can't fucking go to a motherfucking spaceship right now, because I would definitely be a SpaceX or some shit like that.
Yeah, when you boil it down to it, like you realize like life is all about the risk. Like even like shows I've watched, is just like people taking that risk, and that's what steps you further in advancement in life or mankind. Like the dudes like caveman, like they probably saw the fire and was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna fuck with that. But others took it and like, well, this shit's hot, but I'm not gonna do some other shit with it. Like you just gotta keep pushing boundaries and living in that uncomfortable zone, and then that's where you get kind of some of your greatest rewards sometimes, even if it's not financially but mentally. You break those barriers.
Berto, I think we might have somebody in the queue, St. John or something.
Oh no,
they called in.
I was because Rod was talking about emotional relationships, and I was trying to play the St. John music he likes to listen to.
Fuck you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think we had a great convo there. Yeah, so let's jump. Like when Rod gets back, we could jump into this.
I'm right here.
Stash, trash, and pour more cash. I noticed. Yeah, so this is a little longer than what we typically probably going to do the future episodes a little, cut it probably 30, 40 minutes, but this is our first, and we're going to make sure we provide y'all content. But you can tell we're passionate about this conversation, and we want people to learn and just empower others to just take that leap of faith and jump into something. Yeah. And you'll see the benefits. Even if it doesn't give you thousands of dollars, it's going to give you some type of mental freedom to start making those steps to change in your life.
Yeah. And with that said, money does not make you happy. Let me just tell you guys this shit right quick. Money does not make you happy. It won't make you feel full at night. It won't make you sleep better. It won't make you do shit. But trust me, when I can tell you a story, when I can go in, when people are having conversations and like I can jump in that bitch and I'm like, yeah, this is what I did. This is what I did. Like, and you actually sharing and kicking off like the brain stem of somebody else, bro. That is the best time you will ever have. Like when you're 80 years old and 90 years old and don't have shit to talk about, that's when you have a problem. Like life is only about the experience, bro. If you're too scared to experience, you might as well fucking die. So what the fuck are you doing out? And it sounds bad, but think about it. If you're not progressing, then why are you living? Again, if you're not progressing, then why are you living? Yeah. There it goes.
So let's jump into it.
All right.
We're gonna this part of the segment is called Stash, Trash, or Pour More Cash. So we're just gonna go over the stocks real quick. Everybody's gonna give their little point on the stock. If they're gonna keep it, why? They trash it, why? Or pour more cash into it, why? So and then we're gonna try to switch up the stocks every week. Marshall's gonna do research. We research these and just put them out there for people to learn more about. So Stash, Trash, or Pour More Cash. We got our first option here is Tesla. What are y'all thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Marshall.
I would trash it. I would trash it. I would sell it. It's at $1,000 per share. I think it's overvalued. Sell it, get your money, wait for it to crash, which I think it is going to crash, and then buy some more. But I would definitely trash Tesla. They ain't making no money. They are not worth. There's no way they worth $100 billion. They worth more than Ford. Ford sells like 1 million cars a year, and Tesla. How many Teslas do you see on the road? I see like 2 Teslas on the road a day, maybe. How many Fords do you see on the road? I'm telling you, I would sell, man. Sell, dude. I know you got stock in Tesla. Yeah, I would trash.
Where you at with that, Rod?
I'm not.
Stash, trash, or pour more cash?
We got stash, cash, or pour more cash.
Trash is basically is hold it, right? And then trash is sell it, and then pour more cash is buy more.
I definitely want to pour more cash into it. I'll tell you that much, guys. It's such a hold up, turn this shit up. Hold up. It's such a crazy thing for me, bro, because the shares should not be that fucking high. Yeah. Like, no way on the planet, or should they be $1,000 shares? Like, Apple's $1 trillion motherfucking company.
Yeah.
And their shares aren't $1,000, man. Amazon. Well, Amazon, yeah, fuck. Amazon. Anyway, but that's Amazon. It's $1 trillion. It's a $2 trillion company. But I would definitely not buy anymore.
I mean, between this year,
I would say pour more cash.
No, I wouldn't say right now. Like, okay, this is tricky because we don't know how that Cybertruck is going to do. So we know they have a 1,000,000-mile battery probably. So the catch is, will people be able will people be able to afford these cars next year after COVID? Will they still have their $100 million of pre-sales or 100 million pre-sales next year? See, I don't really fuck with car manufacturers for that reason. So I would stay hold that shit. Like, just keep it.
Nobody driving a million miles
into it. No.
Yeah. Unless nobody doing no million-mile road trips. Where would you drive for a million miles anyway? What are you gonna drive to the sun? That don't even make sense, right?
Well, it's a road trip. You know, if I wanted to drive all the way down to Brazil, I could jump in my Cybertruck and drive for free all the way.
You're not gonna get that far. I guarantee you're not gonna get that far.
I have
you're not gonna make it.
Go.
El Chapo will have your truck before you get to Brazil. He's like, oh, okay.
For the next topic,
an anti-carjacking system to it. So I don't know.
It looks like the Batmobile, but it is not. It can't even take a hammer. He took a
So for the next stock, we got Grubhub.
Oh.
Go ahead, let me look him up. Let me look him up real quick. Let me look him up. Grubhub.
Okay. I will put cash in it, and this is the reason why I will put cash in it, because we're seeing the restaurant industry completely crash. So I believe that you will see the delivery service like Instacarts, our Waiter, all those type of services, performance food, they will all go completely up because of it. So people are going to stop going to the grocery stores. First of all, who still goes and orders food and sits there and wait inside the store? I can definitely do DoorDash and Grubhub, then why the fuck would I go and drive there and deal with people? Ugh. People still deal with people? Ugh. Oh. Definitely throw more cash.
Let me see. So for the people that don't know what I'm doing, I'm going on this site called Macro Trends, and I'm looking up the net income history. And let's see, all right, in 2012, they made $82 million. And then 7 years later, 2019, they made $1.3 billion. So their growth is good. But I would still trash it. I would sell it. There's too much competition. They got to deal with Uber. They got to deal with DoorDash. They got to deal with what other delivery services are there? I feel like
the Instacarts, Waiter,
Amazon. Amazon's probably gonna be dropping off food in like drones or some shit. I feel like I think what's gonna happen with the food delivery whole industry or whatever or sector, I think they're gonna get consolidated. There's gonna be a lot of mergers and acquisitions, but I think some of these companies are gonna go bankrupt and people are gonna buy them for like pennies on the dollar. So what I would do is I would wait for the stock to drop to where it's like really low, like under $10, and then I would buy a bunch of the shares and wait for somebody like Uber or whoever to buy them out or try to merge. And when that happens, everybody's going to pile in and the share price is going to go up, and then you could get out and make a quick bundle. But for now, I would trash it if you own it.
So next we got Fastly.
You go first. I have no idea what Fastly is.
Oh my god, they're still making me monies. I was like, I looked today, like they're the only share that was green. Them and Zoom. I was like, there's no green except for two fucking businesses. Yes, throw more cash.
Cash.
That motherfucker is at $86 and climbing in a horrible climate. That shit's gonna make you monies. Lots of monies. Yes.
Let me look them up. All right.
User
yes. Oh. Every time I go on Robinhood and I click on it, it makes my soul feel so good. I said, "Oh, I make some money." Oh, but yes. Oh.
Nah, I would trash. They don't even make money. They don't make money. They're losing money. They lost $47 million in 2019. They're not.
Future projection.
What do they do?
Projection. What's their future projection? What is that? What's that shit dropping on July 22nd? What was that shit?
Who's doing the projections? Nobody. They don't. I don't even know what they do. Were they like a cloud company?
Yeah.
You got Amazon they got to deal with AWS. They got Microsoft Azure. They got IBM doing whatever little that they're doing. They got Google Cloud to deal with. I don't think they're going to be able to compete with that. If they get lucky, they'll get bought out.
Get lucky. Dang, disrespectful. So next up we got Oxy.
Man,
he left the whole building.
Oxy. So I was copying Warren Buffett with that one. So I'm stashing that one. I gotta see what happens. That's a bet on oil. For those that aren't familiar, Oxy is they're an oil company. But they taking some hits right now. So I gotta see what happens. If you're thinking about buying it, I would wait until they're gonna issue out some more shares and it's gonna dilute the value. So I would wait till it gets back down to like $9 a share or whatever that range. I would not buy right now. I personally bought when it was at 38 a share, and I'm down like 20 grand on it. So I don't want that to happen to you. Yeah, and they cut the dividend. They cut the dividend to a penny a share, so which is disrespectful, right? Yeah. So
God,
I'm personally holding on to that one. They have over 100 billion in assets. So hopefully after this whole pandemic stuff blows over, the company will capitalize on those assets. But until then, I gotta wait. But that was definitely a speculative move on my behalf that I shouldn't have done. So I'm stashing that.
What about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'm definitely stashing that shit, bro.
Rod's up on that one. I mean, what you got? You got in at like 13.
It's still like I'm barely up. I got that shit at like $15 or $13, bro, and like it hasn't been over at what $18 yet or $20, bro. Like I'm just looking for the long run in that one. That's my 200 shares.
I mean, a few weeks ago we were tight because it got up to like 24 a share, right?
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm playing a long game on that shit. I want to see that shit. Like once everybody starts traveling again, that shit's gonna shoot right back up, bro. So I'm like, it's gonna be $50 soon again. That's all good. Yeah. I'll wait.
Yeah. So we got our last stock for the stash trash and pull more cash, and that's Spotify.
Oh shit.
100% throw cash at that ass. Like if that was a badass stripper and you just got your lawsuit money from you getting in that car wreck with that semi truck, and you're like, damn, she's bad. I haven't got any ass in forever. Like, definitely
homo cash. They just got so much stuff coming down the line with the recruiting for more podcast shows and like Joe Rogan and things like that. Kim Kardashian, they just locking in these deals. They like locking people off of YouTube and shit. Mm-hmm. So it's just there.
Let me check. I gotta check how much revenue they got. Let me see revenue.
This nigga's Nardwuar on top of it.
You said what?
It's like I think you niggas shit froze. Not.
Oh shit! They make good money.
Oh shit! You know they just did Walmart, guy. They just did like a humongous.
No. We're talking Spotify.
Huh?
You talking Spotify?
Yeah. Spotify just did a merging deal with Walmart to get their own live base. They're trying to compete with Amazon, bro.
For music and podcasts?
Bro, no. Are you talking about Spotify or Shopify?
Spotify.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we don't hear about
Shopify. My bad. Well, I don't know anything about Spotify. I'm talking about Shopify. My bad.
No.
Nah, yeah, I would buy Spotify.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would hopefully try to get in cheaper, but they actually look pretty good. Like the revenue's growing, and it looks like they're about to break even with the net income. They actually look pretty good, and they're only valued as a company. They're only valued at like 49 billion, but they got 7 billion in revenue. So yeah, I think they're gonna do a lot better than Fastly.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
So now we went through that wrap up. Ron kind of jumped in So we got the hidden gem of the week, which was Shopify, which is a hidden gem.
Shopify.
Why do y'all feel that's the hidden gem of the week? I guess Shopify.
Let me go in. Well, Shopify is trying to compete with that Amazon market. See, a lot of these companies are going to have to go to some type of internet-based sales, man. Like these large companies, these Bath and Beyonds, these Best Buys, these Walmarts, stuff like that. They need to start showing a print into the internet sales game, which is where they're going to go, because merchandising is not where it's at right now. But trust me, merchandising will come back. But at this point, they need to do something. So Walmart has joined with Spotify, which Walmart is a multi-billion-dollar company that just sells every gosh thing imaginable. And Shopify is the perfect platform for them to go after Amazon. So 100% buy. Put your house on it.
I would trash it. Actually, yeah, I want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So their price has gone from $100 a share
to $900
to like $900 a share in like a year. But so the price has I don't even know what is it when you multiply something by 9.
A 9 chuplet.
You gotta set tuplets, tuplets, nintuplets. It just it just nintuplet. But when you look at their income and their revenue, it's gone down that much. You know, it hasn't even like if somebody's gonna go up like 9 times, you would expect the revenue has gone up at that same rate, and it hasn't. So it don't even make sense. That's all hype. That I was.
Is that money due to infrastructure? Is that money due to the deals they've made with these different companies? That's the catch.
Is that investment into their future?
That money that they're losing is going into like, hey, we merged with them. Like, hey, we'll give you $2 billion to be a part of our specific brand, and you can't go to Amazon. Or I'm pretty sure that's where that money is going to. Just like Amazon.
Yeah. So
show me a cent that Amazon made. Show me 1 red cent that Amazon made.
So you can. So if you wanted to look at, so Amazon's a special case, right? They weren't making money on paper, right? Like they weren't making net income. But when you look at the cash flow statement, they had cash from operating activities, and it was high as fuck, right? Mm-hmm. But this company don't. They got their cash from operating activities is like negative 200 million.
They don't have. What is $200 million, Marshall? What is $200 million for 1 day? What is $200 million?
They're not making money, man. That is not a hidden gem. That is a hidden.
That is ass wiping money. Multi-billion-dollar company. That's what I pay my janitorial service. Their janitorial service at Shopify is probably $50 million a year. Like, you're talking about 200 million, bro? Bert, that is a penny. Like, literally, he just said something about a penny. Like, what the fuck is who makes? Hold up. Their CEO probably makes like $200 million for a goddamn year. What are we talking about right here? We're talking about pennies.
Right off.
That is pennies, bro. Elon Musk probably shits on probably about $300 million. Like, you probably take a shit on it. Like, what are we talking about?
You're not making money, man. What? I wouldn't touch it.
What you talking about? I'm gonna do a paid in full thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, give me $50,000, let me double up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey bro, hey B, let me borrow $50,000. And he's like, hey bro, I ain't got $50,000 for your little paper bag games, nigga. Like, what are we talking about? But you got pockets full of money. You got pockets full. You think that little money is feeding your grand, your aunt, your mama? Like, what? You got bags of money. What you?
No, man, they're not worth it, man. They're not.
What are we talking about, man?
They only bring in $1 billion in revenue. How are they worth $100 billion and they only bring in $1 billion in revenue? That don't even make sense.
Perception.
Oh,
you want to do paid in full? You get no soy, you get no nothing. They get nothing.
None of that. Money.
I would not fuck with that shit. Nah, that's all hype.
Hey, B, but money. Yeah, niggas lose money every single day, B. Niggas,
yeah, they lose it all right. If you got stock in Shopify, I would sell that shit so fast. Take your profit.
The market, it's $1 trillion market, bro. I would not sell that. I would just stick in it with it. Like, bro, it's gonna go up from there. I'm pretty sure there used to be a guy that saw Netflix and was like, maybe Netflix would be a good choice. So I'm going to invest in Netflix. But then, it's going up, but I don't think it's going to last too long because I don't really think that market share is going to go up to it. But I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that just sold all my Netflix shares and possibly put it into a car. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm gonna go ride that shit out.
I didn't know what I was doing back then. But even Netflix now is overpriced when I look at it. Actually, they say, like I'm looking at it right now. They say Shopify is worth about as much as Netflix. So
yeah, because it's a subscription service. This is what I don't like about Netflix, and I don't believe in Netflix because it's a subscription service that doesn't do anything else when it comes to advertisement or anything like that. Eventually, they're going to have to be like Hulu. Like, what are you going to show your shareholders that you're making any type of progression? Like, you have a subscription service. So, okay, we made 30,000 more subscriptions this year. So I was like, bro, so what happens to the whole world automatically just join? We're going to just put your subscriptions up like $1? Like, keep on doing it that way? Like, I mean, what's the model for?
Yeah, actually, that's pricing power, right?
Yeah, eventually they won't have that shit because Disney Plus is going to kill everybody. What
do they have right now? They got the Baby Yoda or whatever.
Yeah, the Marvel Universe, they're setting it up for the whole Marvel Universe. Like, they just put a bid in for Fox, whatever Fox network it is, so they can get all those superheroes, bro. Like,
so do y'all want to do any shout outs? Because we got to save stuff for the next episode.
Oh yeah. I guess
5 hours.
Go in. Like, I think Netflix is better than Hulu's.
Do you remember the times?
Y'all want to make any shout outs or call out anything? And benefits. Yeah, we can keep going for hours, but we gotta people. We gotta wrap that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
Shout out all the people out there having to deal with these protests, our first responders, all that good stuff. Y'all be safe out there where y'all protest and do your things, man. Shout out to the firefighters, nurses, cops, everybody like that, man. We all show love to everybody out here, bro. Like, we all out here to love each other and respect each other. So just remember that when you're out there burning stuff. All right, how about you, Marshall?
I don't really do the shout out thing.
BLM, what's up?
I'm not really into all that either.
Hey, he is a conservative, guys.
Yeah. I think change happens. It starts with education, and that's why we're doing it. Educate yourself, get some money, and then hopefully you can be financially free, and you won't have to work, and if you don't feel like dealing with the bullshit from the outside world, you can just go off and do your own thing. So that's my purpose.
On God.
Yeah, we plan to just keep providing y'all more insights, information, and then just giving y'all our beautiful personalities, all different perspectives and dynamics, and just hopefully we make it enjoyable for y'all to learn and gain and just yearn for that knowledge to feed your soul and to feed your pockets. Because it ain't nothing like friends if you can't get the ends with the benefits. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna catch y'all on the next go around.
All right, guys, be blessed. Shows love. How do I click out of here? I'm still on.